I'm Tyler Posh, and my presentation is on cancel culture. The rise in cancel culture over the past few years has been immense. Cancel culture is the censoring of people's opinions by groups that don't agree with them. Merriam-Webster defines the term cancel culture to mean demanding great accountability from public figures. The problem with cancel culture is that it takes away our First Amendment rights of free speech, tries people in the court of public opinion versus a trial in a court of law, and in many cases does not allow people to stand up for their faith, as those opinions and values do not match popular beliefs. When someone is canceled, they often lose their job, friends, and social standing. This can lead to feelings of depression, desperation, and even suicide. Around 2017 is when cancel culture started to develop, and it gained steam from there. It started as the idea of canceling celebrities for problematic actions or statements. Lisa Nakamura, a professor at the University of Michigan, defined it as a cultural boycott of a certain celebrity, brand, company, or concept. It also coincided with the hashtag #MeToo movement that began around the same time frame. One victim of cancel culture was comedian Kevin Hart. He was chosen to host the 2019 Oscars, but homophobic tweets from 2018 caused him to face intense backlash. Kevin refused to give an apology and stepped down from hosting the Oscars. With social media use at an all-time high, it takes a very short amount of time for people to group together and gang up on others. The platform that are hit the hardest by cancel culture are TikTok, Twitter, and Facebook. President Obama spoke his opinion on cancel culture, and it was critical of it, saying, "If you are a part of it, you will go nowhere." Part of being respectful is listening to others and taking into consideration what they have to say. Many times, cancel culture is not respectful because it silences other people's opinions. People's feelings about cancel culture tend to fall in line with their political views. 56% of Republicans believe that cancel culture is to punish people who don't deserve it, while 22% of Democrats believe the same thing. President Trump has also been a victim of cancel culture and said that it is used as a political weapon. Donald Trump is banned from Twitter indefinitely for simply speaking his opinion on the presidential election, while others are still allowed to post. As Elon Musk told reporters after he recently said he was buying Twitter, banning Trump from Twitter didn't end Trump's voice. It will amplify it among the rights, and this is why it's morally wrong and flat out stupid. Cancel culture has become an extremely strong subject in political debates. The interest in cancel culture among the American public has rose over 100% in the past years. Pew Research Center wanted to see what others thought of cancel culture, so they made a survey and the answers were very divided. 58% of Americans say that calling people out on social media is to hold accountable, and the other 38% it's to punish people who don't deserve it. It's also important to note that 14% of adults believe that cancel culture is a form of censorship. Cancel culture affects everyone from celebrities to everyday citizens. On one end of the spectrum, it's people like Bill Cosby, Harvey Weinstein, and R. Kelly who got canceled for the public even before their sex crime trials. The other side of the spectrum is for people like David Shore or an ordinary citizen who faced criticism on Twitter just for tweeting a study from a journal about the political consequences for people in violent protests. He was fired when making this tweet because it happened to be during the time of the George Floyd protests. Another way that cancel culture is on display is in the form of fact checking. On some social media platforms, fact checkers decide which posts are facts and opposing posts are removed. An incident occurred on Facebook a year ago involving the removal of the Hunter Biden laptop story, even though it was later found to be true. People should have the opportunity to be exposed to differing opinions and news. Cancel culture has gotten so bad that some people have sadly ended their lives. Caroline Flack, who had a little less than 2 million followers on Twitter, committed suicide in 2020. She was bashed for past tweets. Caroline had tried to remove them, but was only so much that she could do. She was also in a court case at the time, which she received backlash for. As a citizen, you have the responsibility to not make derogatory or slanderous statements. However, you have the ability to stand up for what you believe in. For example, as Catholics, we should stand up for life. However, many pro-choice groups are trying to silence our voice because they don't agree. This makes it hard for many to show our reverence to God and the Catholic Church because our beliefs are not in line with the popular movements. 50% of the people's ages 18 through 30 have a fear of losing their jobs for posts they make on social media. Cancel culture dissuades people from being reverent to God because they may be canceled or face backlash. Changes may be on the horizon for cancel culture. Elon Musk recently has said that free speech is the bedrock of functioning democracy, and Twitter is the digital town square where matters vital to the future of humanity are debated. His plans for Twitter may help further promote free speech. In addition, in some states like California, Arkansas, Iowa, Mississippi, Missouri, and South Dakota, anti-cancel cultural bills have been introduced and more are likely to come. Melissa Melendez, a Republican state senator, introduced two bills that would grant people's political beliefs the same protections under California anti-discrimination laws as race, gender, and religion, in what she's framing as a battle against cancel culture. While some say that cancel culture is a way to hold people accountable for their actions, it often does more harm than good. All of us have a duty and obligation as Americans and Christians to be respectful of others' opinions and think the education ourselves before we respond or post on social media. As Matthew said in the Bible, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. By treating others the way we would like to be treated, we can all play a part in canceling cancel culture.